is now coming up to in a little while.
You can see it's coming up, Calvin?
Mm-hmm.
How can you read watching the countdown at?
I mean, we're at like a diameter of 280
So we're talking millimeters at this point.
Yeah,
It's 280.
Yes.
And where does the pace normally start at? What diameter?
Around 200.
200?
Yeah, it depends on the speed. So if they're going faster, it'll be a bit
Yep.
earlier. Later, it'll be.
And that actually is a setting on the HMI. You can change that setting a little bit on the HMI?
No,
No?
no. That's all to do with the speed ramp of the drive.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, I could change that by change, but that would be something that's hard coded into the PLC.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like the old ones with the power supply. You had a switch, you could set
Right.
it real high. Heard that.
Well, that's good.
That one means they can't change it.
That way corporate can't tell us we have to reset our cores to a 1/16th of an inch of paper on the board.
Yeah.
Right, that's going in now.
So do you have an indication on the screen that the cycle has started besides the dancer movement?
This here freezes for a while.
Okay.
So a little jink there when it went into transition. That's where the
Oh,
paster arm comes down and catches the web. And then it should all go. So you're looking at, say, densest error of -2, so that'll. There you go. Jump unusual. Back in there again. So another one bites the dust. So I'm kind of trying to, what I need, as I said, some real stones like that are pasting pretty great, and then just getting the fine tuning of just playing with the gains to get it a little bit more nicer. But until I've got to that stage, and that's one arm, that C arm, which we know is one that I could play with, but it's one of those scenarios where you kind of end up thinking, well, they're all pasting, so
Right.
let's go. But I would like to get them a little better than that.
And the monitor's that's up on the press deck when it's beeping at you, that's alerting you to the fact that they are in a paster cycle
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
do we
Yeah.
not get the paster bell at the folder console?
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah, you
Good.
get that as well.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
yeah. Okay, so after watching that, I'm going to close this down. Stop that. What did I change? I didn't. What we're going to look at now is the logs that we get from all of these. So as I said, there's a lot of information whenever we have a splice, and there's lots of good information about right.
Take us slow. How do we get to this? Okay, good.
Well, right. So now we're going to look at the error logs. So we've just seen a couple of splices go through, and as we say, you first off got your easy English logs. So if we open those up, things that you don't see on the desk, which you get in here, is the complete sequence. So that last splice that went through gives you the information on speed up, inhibit, brakes on, alarm off, energizing the brakes. Now, one of the things to be aware of here is this is slightly misleading in so much as that's telling you it's going to the brake transition period where it's on, but actually the brake itself, the relay, transition relay itself, doesn't energize until this point where it says off. So that point where it says energize brake transition off is when that relay's energized. So that kind of gives you a moment of if you're getting wet brakes, is it before that, is it after that type of thing. So that's a kind
So that's before it goes to core brake.
so no, we're on core braking, but this is where it's going through the transition. So it goes from one set of segments to the
Oh,
second.
okay.
So that way it switches to the segments. So if you're getting wet brakes around that area, then your first port of call is check the calibration of the spider, make sure the spider calibration is correct. Then it basically runs through and tells you the knife fires, tail on. So this is like signals that go to the desk, tail on, the pace signal, they go up to the desk. So there's those, and then we've got the real stand messages, and these will give you more information about how it performed. And obviously what we're looking at on these, 8 Wednesday. So if I take that last one,
So are these logs self-purging, Calvin, after a couple of days?
no, a week.
Huh?
After a week.
After a week? Okay.
Yeah, they arrive.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of information. to
Yeah.
keep.
They are archived away. So here expiring reel, as I said, was 2. Went into the splice. Had a dancer error, kind of -2, -8, 39. Not too bad, I would expect. Now what I'd expect is generally to come down fairly quickly. This one didn't come down very quickly at all, but I would expect them to be running at -1, -2, -3. That's where I would expect it to be running at. Now what you can see here is different things where it says pace sequence 4 is occurring at that point. Pace sequence 5 has started, so I thought it was sorted that out. So that's when you're basically starting to speed the reel up. And then it goes through, and as we say, if you're looking at things like this where it's -3, -2, you're looking at a good, and it's counting down, and I think they chickened out there. I think somebody chickened out. They fired
Hit the
that
pace button.
Yeah, they hit the pace button before it actually fired. Yeah, because it usually is about 120 when it. You'll see that there. So they and then it basically brush fires. And then this is the little wobble where it goes after that when it goes onto the. And this bit here is where I'm adjusting the biases. So if a bias changes, which it did, then that's where it's changed. So that would have been arm C. So arm C would have been gone. I'm not sure which way what it was before, of course. What was it before? I'll have to have a look at what that was before. Let's see. Oh, undo that. Undo. Control C.
What keys you hit, Calvin?
Right. Control C. Copy.
Control what?
Control C.
Control C, or to copy.
Yeah.
You will copy and paste it into that box.
Yeah. So it was at 5, and it's gone back down to 4, and that's basically because when we came up here, we saw that dancing around -2, -8, but then it went up to 39. Now, what I'm finding, and this is why I'm looking at this, fine-tuning this adaptation braking, is it looks to me that the way when it's optimum, the first thing it does is it catches the thing and it pulls the dancer down by about -30, and then it should recover to the right settings. And so a value of every time it goes into this pace, I would expect the dancer to come down a little bit and then just come up.
Okay.
Always. So I'm going to have to change my adaptation so that I allow it to come down to about -35 before it starts thinking alright. Because what's happened there, it's seeing it come down to -35. It's gone, oh,
I
and
gotta
now,
correct that.
and now it's gone. Hang on, I've taken too much off, and now I'm going the other
Right.
way again.
Right.
So that's what I need to. That's why I've kind of been looking at this and why I put this in the logging so I can actually monitor this. But it just gives us more information about how to set this this core breaking up. So that was so I'm quite pleased with the fact that that did exactly what I'd designed it to do. So yeah, so I'm hopeful that now I've got that in those 3 reel stones, we get some good runs. I should get some good feedback off of that, and I can work with that.
So we have a wealth of information here.
Yes.
If they go down there and turn that unit, power cycle that thing, is this stuff already in there, or will we lose this information?
No, it'll all stay there.
It'll stay
You
there.
can't lose it. The only way you won't get this information if this goes off for some reason. And I don't know what that email meant about it going offline to this Gannett DUFO.
Oh, I don't know either.
Excellent.
Doesn't seem very. I think that SolarWinds is a corporate monitoring thing that says that it's in connection with its virus shit and all that kind of crap. I don't think it's important. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. So what I was going to show you, don't say, was yesterday. A couple of examples. Where did we start with? Where did I start? I want to see a couple of examples of failures. So reel stand 3. Looks good. Oh, these will be good. I'll be till tomorrow. Somewhere around here. So that's B, that would have worked. Where did we run that one? That's C. So I can tell which reel stand it is because of the log. It tells me whether it's reel stand number 1, 2 or 3. So that's A, B or C. So that's obviously B. B seems to be a very good one on this 3, on reel stand 3. And yet they always placed on C. Right, okay, this is one. So this is the one where we fail. So this is what happens if you get a failure. So we're running along and we get to error 14 suddenly, then it's 104, so we know we've lost the web there. And we get a message saying paste fail sequence number 3. Now I know because of the code that reel number 1 changes to reel number C, so it goes A to C, and that changes when you get to the transition point. So I can tell from that information there that we lost that web when we went into the transition area, and that's when we lost that web. So that was kind of that failure. And then yesterday we had the one on 14, which was, as I said, I hadn't seen a failure like this before, but it was interesting. It would be nice to have seen what happened, what actually down there, but obviously nobody complained about it, so it must have been something they saw. So 14 yesterday, about 5 o'clock. It would have been just before that. I'll fix this and the other things. Right, so here we go. So we went into a paste. As I said, this was looking very good. So you've got -6, -7. That's obviously gone through the transition at that point there. As I said, the code isn't the same here. We're still looking good, -1, and suddenly out of the blue, 99. So literally that's immediately bang, that's gone out straight away. And it also gives it paste failure at sequence number 5. So basically, and then you've got here almost immediately at the same time the drive enabling. So that's basically telling you the paster arms come down and now it's ready to start speeding up the drive. So it literally went a few seconds
After it went into cycle.
before as the paster, because you'll see the paster arm comes down and then there's a little delay,
Right.
and then the drive speeds
Starts.
up. So that little delay is what that is. So that's literally the paster arms come down and bang, the web's gone.
Gotcha.
So that kind of,
Those sequence numbers, are they in the manual somewhere?
yeah, these are sequence are not in the
Have it
manual.
written on every,
They're on the
they're on every HMI.
yeah on the
Oh, are
HMI.
they? Okay.
Yeah, you can actually see them on the HMI.
Gotcha.
We'll show you that. So those are two particular failures, different times, where you can get information from these logs, and because as I said, more often than not, you're getting the information. Oh, we had a web break on such and such,
Right.
and as you say, the information
From the pressman.
Right.
Well, I've
Right.
seen, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shall we say I've seen the pressman there, they're monitoring the reel stands, and it's like, oh, what happened there then? Oh, did the reel break?
They're looking at their iPhones.
Yeah.
Can you just take us through one time slowly how to get to those logs from this screen?
Yeah. I think the easiest way to say is go up here, go to
A
computer,
little slower. Go ahead.
and there you've got them there. It's on your desks. So they're actually on the desks. So desk 1 is folder A.
Okay.
That's folder A, it's the error logs. And desk 2. Now what I'll just quickly highlight is in here, if we go through this, where is it? Let's go through it. Communications, PressNet, database. Hardware, PressNet, diagnostics, troubleshooting, is that it? Why did I put it in troubleshooting? I just thought, oh, it's just above troubleshooting. So this here is basically telling you all error logs stored in C error files. So what it doesn't really tell you there that it's the desk really makes it obvious that it's the desk that you're looking to. But it tells you, to make that a little bit more clearer. But then it gives you this information here. So if you're looking at your error logs or your Easy English, it also gives you the source of where the event comes from. So if you look at that press event 42, it will tell you what is generating that particular fault. So if I go back to, so if we go computer, desk 1, error, logs, Easy English, today. So we can see here, let's take a, what can we look at as a, as we're on reel stands, we'll do reel stands. So let's have a look at what generates the pace cycle on. So it's E reel stand event 31. So E reel stand event 31. So we open up our code.
Go slow, Kelvin. So now you're going to go to who's out there, who's online.
No. Oh well, I can go online. Yeah, I'll go online. So go to the controller tags and look for E reel stand event 31. Cross-reference to that. Yeah, put coil, and so we now know that that alarm is set when this here is set. So cross-refer to that, and that is set down here. So under these circumstances, so your auto, so it's basically set when the auto splice sequence is enabled. So that is what's going to set that, as long as you're engaged, impressions on, and you're not at standstill, and you're in continuous run. So obviously that's a status one, but if you've got an alarm that you've seen and you don't understand, like for example the other night they had the problem with the comms faults, and they were going, you know, what's this mean?
Right.
You could have gone into the Easy English, find out what's generating that. Generated, if it's a press one, it will be generated in the folder. Go into the folder and it will tell you exactly what it's monitoring. You know, so it can be a useful tool
Oh,
to
yeah.
identify. You know, if you don't understand a message, you think, well, what actually is this message telling me? Then go into the Easy English, find what's generating that tag, and then you can go in the code and identify it. So that's probably the most useful thing that Steve ever did on the Easy logs, because I mean even